For this week's video, I'm going to be talking about tener, and I'll go into when you conjugate tener, when you use tener, and like certain tener expressions. Okay, so tener, as mentioned in one of the other videos, is an irregular go verb, and the conjugation of tener, which means to have, is yo tengo, tú tienes, él, ella, usted tiene, nosotros, nosotras tenemos, vosotros, vosotras tenéis, and ellos, ellas, ustedes tienen. So now that we know the conjugation of tener, or it should probably be a review just from our other videos and what you've been learning in class, we can go into the tener expressions. There are many expressions with tener, and a lot of times use them when you're trying to say, like, I have something. It won't be like traditionally how you would translate in English, but in Spanish, you would. For example, in English, you would say, I am hungry. And in Spanish, it is similar. You can say, I am hungry, but it's actually a tener expression, which is tener hambre. And so in direct translation, it's I have hunger, which is the same as saying I am hungry. So if you had to say I am hungry, in Spanish it would be yo tengo hambre. Some other tener expressions are tener sed, which means to be thirsty, tener sueño, which means to be sleepy, tener años, which is like to be of certain age. So an example of that is like if I'm trying to say I am 17 years old, I would say tengo 17 años. Then there's tener calor, to be hot, tener frío, to be cold, tener miedo, which means to be scared or to be having fear. And these are just some common tener expressions, but there are also other ones as well. Okay, so here is an example. If you have to translate Sophia is hungry, you would try to remember your tener expressions. And one that fits is tener hambre. So since it's Sophia is hungry, you have to think about the subject, and the subject is now Sophia, which would fall under the ella category because Sophia is the same as saying she. And so it would be ella tiene hambre, she is hungry, or for this direct translation, it would be Sophia tiene hambre because Sophia is hungry. Okay, so here is a practice that you can do. He is thirsty. How would you translate that? Think about what the tener expression is and what the subject pronoun is, and then you should be able to figure out how to translate it. So pause the video and write it down, and then we'll go over the answer. If you got él tiene sed, he is hungry, you are right. The tener expression is tener sed, and tiene fits él because it's in the él, usted category, and he translates to él, which would be conjugated tiene. Okay, so there are multiple uses of tener as we saw with the expressions, but the main number to remember are 4 uses for tener. Okay, the first example or way to use tener is possession. So an example of this is saying, I have the book. And the translation for this would be, yo tengo el libro. I am possessing the book, and in that case you'd use tener. I have the book. Another reason you use tener is human needs, and this goes into those expressions we just talked about. And human needs would be like to be hungry, to be thirsty, to be sleepy, which are those tener expressions. So an example would be, I am sleepy would just be tengo sueño. Because the tener expression is tener sueño, and then I conjugate tener to fit the yo subject pronoun me. So I am sleepy would be tengo sueño. And here's another reason you use tener. The third reason we use tener is to express our age or talk about our age, and that also fits under a tener expression, which would be tener años. And so an example is if you're saying you are 10, you would say tú tienes 10 años. So you're using the tener expression and you're conjugating tener to fit the subject pronoun. So tú tienes 10 años would be you are 10 years old. And so age is another way or reason you use tener. And the fourth reason to use tener, and I'm just going to put this out there, there aren't only just 4 reasons to use tener, but these are the most common ways to use tener and what you will most likely see in your own Spanish class. So anyways, a fourth reason to use tener is to express a need. And this is like saying, I have to study, I have to leave, something for in that like saying, I guess. So if you're trying to say, I have to study, it would be tengo estudiar. I have to study. So you conjugated tener to fit yourself. So this would be another example of using tener. And then also, in case you didn't know, you never conjugate the verb that follows a conjugated verb. So that's why I just wrote yo tengo estudiar. You don't have to conjugate estudiar. Okay, so here are the 4 main ways you use tener again. 1 being possession, trying to say I have something or I have it. 2 being human needs, like trying to say I am hungry, I am thirsty. 3 being age, when you're trying to say I am a certain amount of years old, etc. And then 4 is also following the same idea of expressing a need, like I have to study, I have to go to the library, or something of that matter. Okay, so here are 4 practice problems, I guess, that you can translate, and then I'll give the answers in a few seconds. So if you can pause and try these on your own, it will really be helpful to you. Okay, so here are the answers. So we are cold would be tenemos frío, and then also I took out the subject pronoun, but you can also say nosotros tenemos frío. And then he is 30 years old would translate to él tiene 30 años. They are sleepy can be tienen sueño, or you can also say ellos tienen sueño. And then she has the pencil, ella tiene el lápiz. So I hope these practice problems were easy for you to do and you got them right. But in case you didn't, you can watch the video over again, or please feel free to drop some comments or questions in the comment section, and then we can help you out there. I really hope this video was helpful to you all, and if not, just let us know. We would really love the feedback. Thank you so much for watching, and catch out our other videos as well. Bye!